AP or IB classes or courses and score a 3 or better. And the AP is expensive, but not as expensive. And this year we got about 60%, which is, as you see, double or triple the national average. And with the IB program, we're trying to grow that in the same way. So systemically, what we're trying to do, in answer particularly to your question, do we have an overall plan? Yes, it is to have it available, not restrictive of geography. Now, we may not have one in 25 schools, but we're putting the up-county together just like we did the up-county magnet. Blair had the only science and tech or magnet, and we put one up in Poolsville. So we're trying to spread these things geography-wise, and we're trying to spread them at the same time we create a demand for them. Because if there never have been there, or you've never had anything available, it isn't that kids don't want it, they just don't know about it. And you have to train the teachers. So we're creating a demand, we're creating a feeder program. We haven't been able to get that down at the elementary school because of the expense of it, but we're trying to get it in the middle schools to start with. We're differentiating. If you go back to that map, we have put them heavily in the area where we have about 75% of all of our poverty, which was in the red area. Because that's the availability of, we don't have much space is determining whether we're able to do this, money is determining whether we're able to do this, and training is determining whether we're able to do this. But if I had the ideal plan, all over the county we'd have AP, and we do. We have it in all 25 high schools. As few as 13 courses, or as most, I think about 31 courses, 33. So we've got some variance, but everybody's got at least 13 courses. We got 60% of our kids this year who were graduating seniors took a AP course. So we're trying to hit 80. Then in the IB program, which is a sister, but a big sister, because actually when I talk to IB kids, the reason they're doing certificates versus diplomas is that they lose their electives. It's almost a life of its own.
It is a life of its own.
It is a life of its own because they don't get to do a lot of things because it has such concentrated language and writing in it that you don't really get a whole lot of electives to it. So they tend to do the certificate, and we branch out to do either or. I would like to have some more middle school feeders up county in that red area, and that's where we got stopped. And then I'd like to have at least one yellow dot or 2 down county, 1 more, and 1 up county, all in that red area. And then I would like to be able to open those up geography-wise to everybody up county. And then we would have an up county science and math magnet in Poolsville. We would have that whole Damascus and Sherwood area, or all the way around, would have availability to those high school IB, and they all have the AP already. We would have the college institutes, Gaithersburg, you know, Wooten, and some of the other places. You got to figure those in, and then the language would fit into. We have a very robust language program, 11 different languages, but not real volume with any of them. Try to figure out the volume issue to get them feeding through those programs, so you would wind up, because the IB program has a language component, and I would like the AP to have a language component. So then we would feed the language components to the, make available everywhere. And what I think that would do is that when you're doing that at the 80th percentile level, you really are giving avenues of college preparatory work, both in the middle and high school. And kids in tougher economic times then would be able to knock out a year's worth of college before they ever left you. And some of our kids now are already knocking out more than a year's worth of college before they leave you. And even though the colleges are in trouble monetarily too, and maybe not accepting at the rate they used to, what it does is that it enables you to do what somebody was saying, I think it was Chris talking about a student when they went, they already know, they feel comfortable. Maybe it was at Frida when her grandson went, they already, there's not as much transition. Because the college dropout rate, if you think high school dropout rate is abysmal, college dropout rate is very abysmal. Because only 1 out of every 4 Americans over the age of 24 have a college diploma, 27.5%. And that's stayed reasonably stable within 2 or 3% in the last 30 years. So that's your huge dropout rate, getting a bachelor's degree. The reason I think we're almost double the national average is that not only we get them out of high school and they're prepared to go, but they're able to handle the coursework because of this rigor. Now, our plan goes by fits, as you can see, depending on the